What's up guys? Welcome back to another one of my videos. If you enjoy the content guys, please don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. Thank you all so much for tuning in. So today I thought I'll talk about a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for quite some time, and this will be how I got into what I'm doing today and why I got into fashion generally speaking. So sit tight, enjoy the content. Let me know what you think at the end of the video, and yeah. Alright, so I thought I'll start with the how I got into fashion and into clothing in general. So when I was in high school, I did notice that I had sort of a passion for clothes, for dressing well, for always being well put together, but I never looked at it as a career path or something that I would want to do later on in life. So when I graduated high school, I moved to Canada, and I feel like that's where my passion for clothing and fashion just really started growing. So with regards to school, I just remember having particular things that I really, because I went to a school where you had to wear uniform and things like that, and I just remember, for example, like really hating the shoes that they made us wear, and I would always like take the time to go shop for like the particular pair of shoes that I wanted to wear that wasn't even allowed, but I would always try to find a way to wear them. And yeah man, I was just these are just little things that I did, but I didn't necessarily think that you know, fashion would sort of be something that I would want to do later on in life. I thought it was just like a hobby, something that I enjoyed doing. So yeah, fast forward to moving to Canada back in 2010. And so I graduated with an economics degree at a university here. And whilst I was in university, I worked for local boutiques here, so like retail and things like that. And my passion just kind of kept growing. And to be honest, I was more so interested in style and clothing and just trying to figure out how to style myself personally. And I think that went later on. I think that's when I kind of started getting interested a little bit more into fashion as a whole, into like designer brands such as like Haider Ackermann and Demi Lovato. I remember my first purchase was this linen and Demi Lovato pair of pants, and I fell in love with them. For like the next 2 years I would wear them a lot, and then eventually I ended up selling them on Grailed. So yeah man, so the first step was basically just working retail, you know, helping clients and things like that. And then the second thing I would say was just passion and just wanting to sort of explore fashion as a whole, and just wanting to learn too. I think when I really got into really started thinking about like making this a career path was when I started watching, you know, I remember watching the Oswald Baltang Man's I think it's called The Man's Story. It was his documentary on his journey towards becoming like, you know, basically like a fashion icon, a creative director for Givenchy at some point and things like that, and just kind of educating myself in that sense. And as I educated myself, my passion grew more and more. And I think that was, you know, I don't know exactly when Instagram started, but that was when Instagram started. Right away, I think, you know, after like maybe like 2-3 months after they started, I kind of started posting pictures of just outfits. Like I found, you know, I just kind of started doing it, and I enjoyed it. You know, it was just for me a way to like sort of like look back at an outfit that I had worn like a couple weeks and just like critique it in a way. So yeah. So for the why part, I think it was just more so me having a passion and wanting to see where it could take me. I didn't necessarily plan it. That's why I'm saying, like with economics degree and stuff like that, I wasn't thinking, hey, as soon as I'm done with my economics degree, I should really look into fashion jobs and things like that. Although towards the end, so this is a bit of a contradiction, towards the end I did start thinking about you know, a career path within the fashion industry. I worked retail, I worked for a bunch of places in retail, and I really didn't enjoy it as much. I think that what I enjoyed about retail was more so, you know, just being able to touch certain garments, being able to try on certain clothes, and just really get the understanding, you know, as you guys know, like some of you that might work retail, you know, sometimes during the week you will have a lot of downtime. So this was a chance for me to try on like a particular pair of jeans or like, you know, some jacket, that gave me time to kind of figure out my style, figure out what I wanted to wear. Once I graduated, I kind of changed path. So I was like, you know what, let me just go into banking. So I went into banking just to be able to make a little bit of money and things like that. And I hated it, guys. I was miserable, man. I remember just working like crazy shifts and just being there like, fuck, man. Like, you know, I wish, you know, I would always still be posting like outfit pictures, and I would always, you know, spend a little bit more money than the average Joe on clothes and things like that. But just being in that banking sort of system made me realize how much it was important for me to sort of follow my passion and sort of follow exactly the path that I wanted to take. Because I mean, you know, you have your 20s, and this is sort of that time where you have this time where you can figure everything out that you want to figure out in the sense of like, you know, your career path, your passion, and just finding ways to make your passion, I guess, a job that you can still enjoy and still make money out of it. And I think that was my thought process. Like, I mean, I've always sort of not planned ahead, but I've always been calculated. Like, I don't just make drastic moves. You know, I think I tend to think things through before like doing them. And what ended up happening is, so I quit my job at the bank and I moved to Montreal. And when I moved to Montreal, my objective was actually to work for Essence. And I kind of started applying for certain positions. Never really got any reply from them and things like that. But I always knew that eventually things were gonna look up. You know, like I was consistent with like my Instagram. Like I would post pictures here and there and stuff like that. And you know, and my passion was growing. I figured, hey, you know what? I'm gonna move. You know, I basically transferred my job from the city that I was in to Montreal. And then once I moved here, I worked with them for an extra 2 months, and then I quit. I just randomly, I was like, you know what, man, I'm already settled in a new city, and looking for a job is a full-time itself. And I was already working full-time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take some time off, look for the job that I really wanna look for, and just, you know, put all my eggs in one basket, basically. Like, I mean, you know, like this is what your 20s off. Like, I feel like it's just this phase where you're trying to figure things out. You don't really know. I mean, you know what you want to do, but then like you hesitant, you have like this fear in you and things like that. And at some point for me, it was just kind of like, you know what, I just need to do it. In terms of how I got into working where I'm working now, or doing what I'm doing now, I think it was just more so being in a position where I planned ahead and I knew exactly what path I wanted to take, and I wasn't scared or like intimidated or like hesitant into the direction that I wanted to take. And I think this is something that I generally tend to apply in my life. I think, you know, you go through experiences and then, you know, they either, you know, go super well or they fail, but even when it's a fail, it's still like a learning experience. So currently it's been great, like working within the fashion spectrum and just kind of getting to learn a little bit about how, you know, such an industry works. You know, it's super interesting to me. For me, I feel like my passion is really like style and just being able to style myself, or maybe even potentially help others style themselves, and just always pushing this menswear conversation, you know. And this is why I started a YouTube channel, and this is why, you know, I tend to post and critique my outfits on Instagram. Like, I really just enjoy that. So yeah, you know, for anyone sort of looking to work within like a fashion online retailer or just like a local boutique, I would just say, you know, just do it. You know, obviously have some form of direction. I think that's always very important. If you're hesitant between going to school or like having or having experience, I think school is still important, but I don't think you need like a specific degree to like work anywhere, actually. You know, just as long as you're passionate, or as long as you kind of have like a direction of where you want to go, I think anything is possible within the fashion industry. I don't know about any other industries, but I really feel like within the fashion industry, you don't necessarily need like a big degree. I mean, it does help. It does put you in a better category compared to like others, especially if it's like a fashion design degree, you know, or marketing or something like that. You obviously have more chances of, not more chance of getting in, but you definitely have some form of leverage, right? So I would honestly say that experience is the father of learning. Like, I think the more experience that you have, this is something that I wish I did more. I wish I really took the time to really invest my knowledge and my passion into fashion much earlier, you know. So let me know what you guys think about the industry as a whole, or even about just fashion and style. And yeah, man, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, peace out.